If you want to get into making money online, working fully remote, making money on the internet, maybe the best thing you can do is not go start a business. Maybe the best thing you can do is actually start with learning one or two really high value skills. This is exactly what I did when I wanted to get started making money online. Was the first thing I did is I went and learned some really high value skills. And I did those for a couple of years before I eventually started my own freelancing business and then started my own agency and then built a team and then started doing all of the cool things that I'm doing now. So I know you've probably been hearing from a bunch of other people online that going and starting your own business is the best way to get started. I'm here to tell you, actually starting with really high value skills and learning these is probably the best thing you can do. So let's talk about what are some of the most high value skills right now that you could learn for businesses. And I'm also going to show you how you can figure out which one of these is right for you based on something that a lot of people don't usually think about, and how you can actually stack these skills. So you get multipliers on these. So stick with me and let's go through this right now. Number 9 is media buying. And so when I'm talking about media buying, I'm talking about the skill of being able to have a company come to you and say, hey, we have this new product and we need to figure out how to sell this through paid ads. What can we do? So I'm not talking about pushing buttons. It's a few years ago, it was valuable to know how to set up campaigns on Facebook or Google or TikTok. The reality is it's just not that valuable anymore because so many people have taken courses. It's gotten so easy to set up campaigns. Actually just pushing the buttons isn't that valuable. But being able to actually develop a strategy to go, okay, cool. You've got this new product. We need to figure out what messaging is going to work. How do we do that research? Figure out what audiences we want to target. How are we going to figure that out? And then how are we going to work through a process to test multiple different ads and creatives and copies and all of those things to figure out what's the best one. Then once we figure out what the best one is, how are we going to go through a process to figure out, cool, how can we improve these ads so that we can make sure that we're not spending money on the ones that didn't work, we're spending money on the ones that did work, and we can improve this process over time so that we can scale your budget every month without losing profitability. And so that involves a lot of things, right? That involves understanding the strategy, understanding marketing funnels, understanding how to test different creatives in the market, and being able to track all of this stuff and measure revenue. But if you are like a technical kind of person, you like to look at numbers, you like to set up tech, you like to work through strategy and stuff like that, this could be a really valuable skill to have. And most companies need this because a lot of companies depend on paid ads in order to get their products out in front of people. Number 8 is sales. And I'm talking specifically about setters and closers online. So when you see all these ads online, people who are selling online courses, they're getting you to sign up for webinars, all that stuff. A lot of these companies are built off of sales teams, which means they've got real people to answer on the phone and close people into different programs. And so most companies need sales guys. That's just a big demand in the market right now. And I don't think over the phone sales is going away anytime soon. And so the way those teams run is they typically have 2 people. They have setters and closers. Setters are kind of the more beginner position, I guess you call that, where it's like they're the ones who follow up with leads, make sure that they're qualified, potentially call them on the phone, ask them a few questions. And then if they're qualified and they're a good fit, then they will actually set appointments for the closers. And the closers will get on the phone and have a longer conversation with people and actually close people into high ticket programs, online courses, different services, stuff like that. And so if you can learn how to sell and you can learn how to sell high ticket programs and services, there is a huge demand for this online. And that's not going to go anytime soon, right? If you learn how to generate sales for a company, there's pretty much always going to be demand for that. Number 7 is tech and automation, especially with AI right now. There's always been a place for tech and automation within online companies because everybody's online. There's lots of funnels that need to get built, softwares that need to get set up, CRMs. A lot of these platforms need to connect and be integrated within each other. And so there's always been a demand for this, but especially now with AI, that demand is increasing. So if you're like a techie kind of person, you like setting up software, you like designing systems, there's absolutely a place to be able to come into an agency or a larger online business and say, hey, look, I'm going to help you. I'm going to set up all the tech. So being able to say all of that stuff that you don't want to do, right? I want to be able to take your CRM, connect it with your webinar. I want to have an automated thing that goes off. So if somebody actually watches 30% or 50% of this video online, we want to trigger some kind of email. Any of those things are all just tech integrations and stuff that needs to happen. And so if you know how to do that, you know how to set up those kinds of systems, there's absolutely value in that. And now if you can start to implement AI into that process where you can say, hey, look, I know how to use ChatGPT or an API and actually to call AI chatbot and actually use that to better get things done. Like I've seen people who are using this to write blog posts, post on their blog, all kinds of stuff, customer support. If you can build those into a business, there's absolutely a ton of demand for that right now. Number 6 is conversion rate optimization. So if you've never heard of conversion rate optimization, think about all these really big companies. A great example would be like Athletic Greens. Athletic Greens is spending literally millions of dollars a year on podcasts, on advertising, on creating all kinds of UGC and content online, and they get millions of visitors to their website every single month. So if someone can come in and has a process to take their website from converting 4% of the traffic to converting 6% of the traffic, that could be worth millions of dollars a year to them. And so that's what CRO experts do, conversion rate optimization specialist. They will come in and they have a process to actually break down what headlines are working best, what copy is working best, what kind of page format is working best, what should we prioritize testing on this website in order to figure out what is actually going to increase our conversion rate, whether that's on the whole website or the paid ads funnel or the organic funnel or whatever that is. So again, if you're someone who's techie and you like processes and you also like human psychology and understanding what makes people work and being able to create a strategy to improve things, CRO can be really good for you. Typically, the companies that invest in CRO are much bigger, so you're probably not going to see a company that's doing $100,000 or $300,000 a year investing in CRO. You're going to see multi-million-dollar companies investing really heavily in CRO. Really quick, before we go on to the next one, let's talk about the value of becoming a triple threat. Because the reality is, if you pick any one of these things on this list, like media buying, you might not become the best media buyer in the world. But if you can learn media buying and you can learn some CRO so that you can optimize a funnel, then you could actually be really powerful because you can run ads and you can also help optimize whatever funnel it is that you are running ads to. Now, if you can also understand tech so that you can help people run ads, optimize their funnel, and actually set up funnels, that could make you a really powerful combination of someone with 3 skills. And so when you start thinking about these, it's a really good idea to get one and learn one really, really well. But then once you have one, you can move on to the next one and you can start to stack these skills until you have 2 or 3 and you basically become a triple threat with these skills. Also, just so you know, in the description, I'm going to have a link for 1 or 2 YouTube channels that you can follow to learn any one of these skills. So if you're super interested in one of these, check out the description, and what I'll do is I'll have some resources for you to actually dive deeper with some other YouTube channels that I found that has these skills that you can learn these from. Number 4 is email marketing. So email marketing is the backbone of any online businesses, and there's absolutely a ton of value if you can understand how to come in and help someone grow and monetize an email list. And I'm not talking about who actually writes the email copy, because that could be a different person. And in a lot of bigger companies, you have someone who actually runs the email marketing strategy, and then they have copywriters that work for them that actually write all the copy. But I'm talking about someone who understands the strategy behind email marketing, how to make sure that they can grow the email list, how to segment the email list, what offers and promotions to send to what segments of the email list when, how to make sure to actually grow that relationship with that list so you can monetize them better, and ultimately grow the revenue per subscriber that you have on your email list. So if you can understand email marketing at this high level and be able to execute that for online businesses, that is an extremely high value skill, and I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon. Number 3 is copywriting. Copywriting is a skill that has been around in advertising for basically forever. People have been copywriting and getting words to sell people stuff since people could write words. This could include everything from email, sales pages, webinars, landing pages, presentations, video sales letters. All of this stuff involves copywriting. And so if you can learn copywriting and you can become a really good copywriter, there's absolutely a lot of value for that with companies online. With AI right now, there's definitely questions of like, how valuable is a copywriter going to be in the future? And the thing is, a really good copywriter is always going to be able to come in and provide a lot of value. I think it's a lot of the middle and lower tier copywriters that are going to start to get automated away with AI. But if you can go back to that thing of skill stacking and you can get really good at copywriting and 1 or 2 of these other skills, that can make you a really valuable asset for any online business. Number 2 on the list is a creative strategist. So this is really be able to take the entire creative strategy for a brand, pull it all together, and actually manage and operate the entire strategy. So a lot of people that I've seen move into this creative strategist role started as copywriters, started as graphic designers, started as media buyers, and then were able to move up and get to a point to where they're able to tie in brand identity, positioning, copywriting, what's going on with media buying, what's happening on the email strategy, all of these different channels that you're communicating with your customers, be able to pull all of that in and execute campaigns with people on those teams so that you can make sure that you have one cohesive, united creative strategy, and you can make sure that that is improving and generating the results that a company needs over time. This is a huge skill that is becoming more and more in demand because now there's more channels than ever. People are creating UGC content by the thousands every single month. And so you need to make sure there's someone who's got a cohesive hold on everything that's going out on the different media channels, whether it's paid or organic or email or whatever that is. Work with the people on those teams to make sure that you know what's going on, you're measuring what's actually working, and then you're going deeper on what's working and you're getting rid of the stuff that doesn't. Especially for larger and larger companies, this is a really, really in-demand role, and I've got an awesome YouTube channel you can check out in the description that's going to show you how you can get into this kind of role. So my number 1 skill here is offer development. This really is the ultimate skill because being able to go to an online business and saying, hey, look, I'm going to help you create a new product or a new offer, whatever that is, and I'm going to help you put everything together, right? I'm going to help you design that offer, make it really enticing, position it to the right people, help you put together the copy, get the funnel ready, get all of the assets ready, whether we're promoting it through organic or paid or whatever that is, pull all of the right people or team or resources or whatever you need for this, and then actually be able to launch a brand new offer, make that profitable, and then scale that for a company. This is huge. If you can do this for your company or for yourself, this really becomes the ultimate skill because you're building new products and you could even build entirely new brands with this skill set. All it really takes is one really great offer to make a company hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year. And so if you have the ability to do this, what I've seen a lot of people do with this is they go to people, they go to experts, they go to companies and they partner with them to help them launch new offers. I've seen people do this as a service. So they launch new courses or new products for people. And then a lot of people just do this for themselves, right? Once you get to this level of skill, because you've learned a few of these different things, you can just launch offers for yourself. Each one has its different pros and cons, but there's really a huge demand for people who are being able to just create entirely new products, whether that's in digital product space or whatever space you're working in, and be able to take these to market and get these to grow. I've got an awesome person you can learn that from, again, in the description below. So a few important things to consider when you're trying to pick where to get started all of this. A really, really valuable one is, what is your personality type? This is a huge one that I don't think a lot of people appreciate, but what type of person are you and how do you like to operate on your day-to-day basis will make a big impact on which one of these you might enjoy. So again, if you're a more technical numbers person, maybe being a copywriter and actually just having to be creative and write all day isn't the best skill for you to learn right away. And again, if you're like a more creative person, you're probably not going to enjoy doing like CRO or tech setups because you don't want to be doing these repetitive techie processes and having to understand software. And so one really cool thing you can do is take some online personality tests. I really like the one called Wealth Dynamics. I find that one to be really valuable. And you can take some personality tests to figure out, what do you lean more into, like the creative, the tech, the numbers? Do you want to be a deal maker? What is that side of you that you want to work on? If you want to be more of a deal maker, sales could be a really good role for you, right? So find out what your personality type is, and that could give you some really good ideas on where to get started. Again, check out that Wealth Dynamics test, and that'll give you some good direction on what you could think about. Know that you could learn all of these, and most entrepreneurs that I know are really good at most of these skills. But you got to start somewhere, right? So definitely check out some personality tests. One thing that's going to make a huge impact on how much money you can generate with these skills is who you're working with as well. That is probably one of the most important things. So if you want to become a super great copywriter and you only want to work with local hair salons, they're probably not going to have the ability to pay you a lot of money, right? Because a local hair salon only makes so much money. So also keep in mind, who you're working with is just as important as what you are doing for them. And in a world where everyone is telling you that you should go start your online business, become an entrepreneur, do all of these things, know that you don't have to do that right away. Definitely for a lot of people that I talk with, because people reach out to me, they want to figure out how to get started online. They want to figure out what they could do. The answer is not always, hey, a brand new person with no skills, go start your own online business and figure out how to do all this stuff on your own. A lot of times, if you can spend 1 or 2 years working at a really cool company online, which there are thousands of out there, and you can learn a few of these skills and you can get connected with people in the industry, that could catapult you past someone who is sitting at home trying to figure out all this stuff on their own. So find a good network of people, find a good community of people, and find companies that will allow you to come in and learn these types of skills and get you partnered up with people who are really experts at them so you can learn from them and learn faster. And that will really get you started moving forward, learning these skills and making money online and being able to implement these kinds of things on the internet. So I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button because that helps me keep making more videos like this. These videos are free for you to watch, but they do take time and money for me to produce. So hitting that like and subscribe helps a lot around here. The very last thing, so if I had to be really bullish on any one of these skills that's really, really good for a beginner to learn right now, I would say email marketing is probably one of these ones on the top of the list for a place to get started. And so I've actually got a video right here where I will show you the email marketing strategy that we use for all the companies that I'm working with. And you can get that entire strategy if you just click on this video right here. So click right there and I will see you over there.